What is going on, my YouTube family? Sergeant Graybeard at Graybeard Gaming Group. Today is Friday, January 15th, and as always, I hope this message finds you healthy and safe. Over the last few weeks, I've gotten a lot of messages from new players and players that are just returning to the game asking if I would put together a video highlighting some of my favorite control points that I like to run. Therefore, that's exactly what I'm doing today. Now, if you happen to be new to the channel, feel free to hit that subscribe button. We would love for you to be a part of our gaming family, and if you enjoyed this or found it helpful at all, take a quick second and hit that like button. It really does help the channel out. Finally, as most of you know, we have giveaways here, and our current one is for an Xbox Series X. However, more importantly, we will also be making a donation in the winner's name to St. Jude Children's Hospital for $500. We will be announcing the winner on April 4th of this year to celebrate our 1-year anniversary at the channel, and all you need to do is subscribe here or follow us on Twitter. Either way is fine. As always, keep in mind that watching our content is not a requirement to win. Only watch the things here you may enjoy. That's why we give you the option of entering via Twitter. Having said that, let's get into today's video. Now, throughout this video, I'll be giving you some tips on what I do when I'm trying to farm for certain things, but the first thing I'd like to cover is the map itself. Now, we all know that you can farm for anything you want in the summit right now. However, people seem to be having better luck when they're farming in the open world. Typically, what I do is every time I log into the game, I check out the control points that I like to run, and I see if there's any targeted loot that I happen to be looking for in those areas. Now, there happen to be a lot of things we're going to go over throughout the video. However, let's get to the first spot. It's the Riverside gas station, and one reoccurring theme you'll notice in all of these spots is that all of them have a great vantage point where you can really set up shop and have a good angle for the NPCs. You can see here that I'm located right in front of the gas station at this point, and once the first wave of NPCs are cleared, I make my way over to the gas station itself, jump up on the roof, and again, you're in a perfect spot to get NPCs at any angle they happen to come from. Now, one of the reasons having a good vantage point is so important is that there are a lot of times in some of these control points, or really anything in the open world, you can get flanked from different factions or an elite patrol, something like that, so this really does help you out. The next control point I'll be showing you is Sleeping Giant. This happens to be one of my favorite ones. I've had a lot of luck getting some really good loot here, and again, just like the previous one, it gives you two great locations to set up. You can see here that once I arrive, I set up shop at the top of the ramp, and I'm trying to make my way over to the top of that little building, whatever it is right there, and once you're there, again, you have a great angle on everything, so that way, no matter where NPCs come from, you do have the ability to take them out pretty easily. One thing I'd like to point out really quick is that for these first 4 control points, I'm using a skill build, and that's due to my style of gameplay and the location that I'm at. This really suits me the best. Having said that, one thing I do recommend players do is check out different control points on the map. See what works for you depending on if you're doing like a shotgun build or an AR build or a submachine gun, whatever it is. That way you learn the patterns of the NPCs and you see which ones work best for you. And as we make our way to the next location, which is MLK Memorial Library, I also want to point out the fact that I'm doing these on Heroic due to the fact that you face 2 named enemies before the actual control point is cleared. Now, a lot of you have reached out and said you're really on the fence with having the ability to run these control points on your own when it comes to challenging versus Heroic, and that a lot of times what gets you in regards to running them on Heroic is the fact that you get flanked by NPCs from like all directions. In that case, there are 2 things I can recommend. First of all, if you don't have a dedicated group, I usually use Matchmaking for stuff when it comes to missions, but when you're doing control points, find a control point, call for backup, wait until someone else joins, and that should hopefully help you out. The other recommendation I have is before you travel to the control point, make sure there are no enemy factions in that area. You don't see a supply convoy, you don't see an elite patrol. If you do, reset your control points and keep checking until the area is clear. Now, getting back to this control point and the importance of finding ones that do have decent cover, you saw I had 1 spot for the first wave, I'm at my 2nd spot for the second wave, and then what happens is once those named bosses were defeated, 2 rogue agents showed up. Now, this happens to be one of my favorite benefits of running control points, and this can happen on any difficulty. We hear from agents saying they find them on hard and challenging and all this stuff, but again, what's great is when they show up, it always gives you that opportunity to get even better loot. One of the questions a lot of you ask is where can you find rogue agents on a consistent basis? They can pop up anywhere in the world. However, yesterday, all of this footage was shot in succession, and I wound up running into rogue agents 2 out of the 5 control points. Moving on to our next control point, it's the crash site located in the East Mall. Again, 2 great spots. When you first get here, you're going to see this one little area you can jump into. Once the first wave is cleared, you make your way on top of the plane and then just, again, set up shop here and you're totally good to go. This happened to be the second control point where 2 rogue agents did show up, and the location in which they show up, there's no way to predict that, meaning I've had them show up multiple times in certain ones, but again, it's all luck of the draw. It seems to be like an RNG thing, like sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. And since we really have no idea when they can actually show up, I mean, you can see here, not only did they pop in, but like another faction showed up and they wind up, beating up on each other. The rogue agent takes out the guy for me. It's awesome. So again, having these vantage points really, really does help out. Finally, to our final control point, my friends, and this is one that I like to run with a shotgun build. You can use an AR build, SMG, whatever. I mean, you can use really anything anywhere. Again, it really depends on your game style. You can see we're at the choke, which is in the southwest, and again, for me, this is one of those things where I love using a shotgun build here. Like, what happened to my arm? That was weird. Anyway, I love using a shotgun build here. It's so much fun. I know the timing of the NPCs, so please make sure you take your time, look through a lot of these, control points, and really find the ones that are best for you. And as we start to wrap this video up, obviously I just did control points in DC. However, I will do another video of ones in New York. And as always, if there are any control points that you guys love running, please leave in the comments section down below. As you know, this whole channel is about helping other agents out. With that being said, my friends, I want to once again thank you for the continued support. If you happen to be new here, feel free to hit that subscribe button. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button as well. But most importantly, as always, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone.